Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Colvin. Joining me live in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Did you have a nice weekend?
I had an excellent weekend. How about yourself? You know, really, I have to say, downtown Hyannis looked phenomenal on the 4th of July.
And there were people everywhere all weekend. I think people, were able to enjoy the beaches. The beaches were very crowded. The weather was great. It was a good 4th, I hope, for everyone. And I noted in your sports report that you were talking about perhaps there's some life in the Red Sox, so I've got my Red Sox tie on today to try to jump back on that bandwagon.
That's right.
Hope that something's going to happen there. But.
Indeed. Well, you know, the hardcore sports fans will say it really nothing matters until after the All-Star break, and we're just at that point, so
right
we'll see what happens. So much stuff going on, though.
Well, I thought this morning I'd go over a couple of things that have happened over the past couple of weeks, just almost some of the fun things that happen, in the job. I had a chance to, along with Council President Jessica Rapcosetti and Wendy Northcross from the Chamber, to go over to the Raise the Tides sculpture that was over at the Guyabon area in our arts complex. And it was very interesting to meet the sculptor and hear him describe the art that we now have on that complex. The whole area looked great. Of course, Sarah Hall has her art space there, and then there's the arts trio and the gallery that's there also, the Bass River Pottery Barn that's starting up, and Guyabon is newly renovated, and they've got a troupe that's in there during this summer season. So lots happening over in our arts complex at the Shirley Blair Flynn complex over there. So this sculpture adds something. It's a conversation piece, and it was a really nice crowd, and I thought it was, and of course, the council president accepted the gift from the Cape Cod Chamber that had commissioned it and put it together. Then I had a chance to go over to the Osterville Free Library, and they were having their annual meeting. And as you know, we have nonprofit libraries here in Barnstable. We have 7 of them, and we contribute well over $1.7 million to the 7 libraries. And we were the town of Barnstable was recognized with a donor appreciation award, which I thought I would bring down and have for show and tell today. So that was very nice. And they recognize that the town has a lot of priorities, funding priorities, but we've been able to each year over the past few years give increases to help them with their operating costs. And they do so many things in the library. They're really the heart and the pulse of each of our villages. So all the programming that goes on benefits folks of all ages. And I was certainly pleased to be able to accept this on behalf of the town. And then, as you just mentioned, we had the 4th of July, and we went over the Barnstable Parade, West Barnstable Parade. That just seemed to be have more participants in the parade and more spectators. Joan and Jim Ellis were the grand marshals, and they rode they had a tractor pulling pulling Joan along, and Jim was driving the tractor. Just a good holiday spirit. And I noted just getting a parking place, because it was difficult to get up had to go up on the hill at the county complex. So lots of folks turned out to celebrate Independence Day. Heard the Centerville Parade, Gratuit Parade went well, and of course the Hyannis Parade, as you mentioned. I just thought that was the best parade we've had in a long time. The variety, the music, the floats that people put together. There was some great floats and some of the entertainment. We had tumblers, and it was just. It was really well done. I congratulate the Megan Kenny, who organized it, and all of the folks that helped put that together. They had the Love Live local people there. I think Amanda had Congress had helped with the parade, so it was well done. Phil Wallace and Will Crocker, 2 town councils, were on the reviewing stand and welcoming everybody. So It was just a nice spirit.
It was, and I have to say I stayed in the Main Street area for several hours after the parade and just noted that people stayed around, the restaurants were all busy, Azalea Park was fantastic, the entertainment was great, and even though the fireworks were delayed a little bit, I think that didn't really dampen anybody's spirits. You know, they just reveled it up downtown.
Well, you know, I got a call around 6:45 that they had a difficulty with a certain firing mechanism at the out on the barge, and they were awaiting a part. And it's one of those situations where you're put in where you're not anticipating it. You figure they're professionals; they have everything, you know, right on site, or backups if they need it. We had to make a decision. I do have to say that Melissa Hirsch, who helped organize Azalea Park and has really helped coordinate along with Dave Anthony and others, the fireworks each year. I just did a wonderful job keeping the police chief informed and me, and we made some decisions to delay it for an hour. They went right off at 10, which was, my fear was that we'd keep pushing it back and then people would say, wait a minute, and get discouraged. But we had a firm time on that. They started then, and they were spectacular. So everybody felt good about that. But,
absolutely.
And then tomorrow night on Tuesday, we'll be going to the Marston's Mills, West Barnstable Village Association, and they have an annual get-together of the two civic associations. It's a social, and then they tend to meet and go over individually, some of their issues. So I know some of the discussion will be about the West Parish Revere Bell that went up, and which seemed to get a lot of good press around, and the Community Preservation Committee had helped fund the restoration of that bell. So that was really a nice event earlier on in the week. And then on Wednesday night, there's going to be the rededication of the Ridgewood Park over in the Tree Streets in Hyannis. We have been able to rehabilitate that area. We're hoping that residents will be able to, use that and enjoy that park. And then, of course, on Thursday we have the town council meeting. So.
Yes, back to business. This is the time of year I think that the council only has one meeting a month.
Yes,
right?
one meeting in July, one meeting in August. What we'll be doing at the couple of items on Thursday is I'll be asking our new Gateway Greeters program to talk about how having individuals down there to help move the traffic along, they help with facilitate the parking is working out, and Liz Hartsgrove from Consumer Affairs will be here to talk about that. And then also I've asked Dan Santos to do a capital projects update, because we like to keep the council informed of where we are in the variety of projects. They fund them, and generally you're almost looking at a 3-year span. Once you fund it, then you've got to go out and do the bonding, then you've got to go and do the bidding on all of that. So we'll catch them up on that, and then of course there'll be the Sandy Neck purchase that is up. And the Gateway Greeters and the parking down at Bismore, one thing that we were, when we decide whether or not to do the fireworks on the 4th of July, we meet about 6:30, 6:45 down there with the police chief, fire chief, the Atlas fireworks folks, and we decide what the weather's going to be, and are they going off on that evening? And as I went down there, I noted 4 or 5 cars that had tickets on them. They've been there overnight, that more than likely probably went to the islands rather than park in one of the private lots or in a satellite lot. And one reason we have the meters down there is to keep that turnover. I was talking to someone over the weekend who, they had a tour boat, and somebody was saying, please hold the boat for me, I've got to park. Well, those folks that are going to the islands are taking up those spaces where she's going to come in, be there for an hour and a half or so, move, and then it turns over and someone else can enjoy our waterfront area. So we'll hear from our Gateway Greeters as to how that process whole works.
Wonderful, so, wonderful.
And then lots going on.
Yes,
so.
a busy week ahead indeed. Beautiful weather, we love it, summertime is here, and the beat march is on, right?
And we'll have a lot of, as you might expect, this is the time of year where we catch up after the budget meetings. We are able to look at various requests for proposals we have out there, look at some of our property management issues, things like that. So we have a busy meeting schedule here, but you know, the work continues.
Indeed. Well, Tom, thank you so much as always for stopping by, and we'll catch up with you again next Monday. Thanks so much. Tom Lynch, of course, is our town manager. More to come on Barnstable This Morning, but first, let's find out if those fish